Hello everyone, and welcome back to some more Elden Ring invasions. Here I've got two builds today. We're coming back to Lion, Clad, Turtle, and Oleander, and we're going to be focusing on invasions where I think I've made some pretty smart decisions. Here in this first one in Farum Azula, the host and their two phantoms are up on this ledge. And depending on their builds, considering that guy has a staff and what looks like a moon veil, they can be throwing a bunch of stuff down at me when I can't really be doing much to them in terms of going back up. There is a path back up there, but it would take me like 5 minutes to run around, and it's much easier and smarter to just take something with gravitas and start the fight. Because now that the phantom is down here, yes, all three of them can still move down normally. However, I've started the fight on my turns and my time frame rather than having them try and whittle down my flasks. So, despite this being a pretty well-armed squad, it is something that does work in my favor as this invasion goes on. And so the next thing I do is I jump onto this roof. Because I can always jump down further into the lightning, but here I can try and separate the squad. And now that he's rolled down there and is starting on the roof, we've got the attention of a lot of Stormhawks. And birds in Elden Ring are absolutely nasty. They are really hard to hit, even if you are a mage. And just the combination of all of the chaos gives me an edge on trying to clean up the phantoms. As you can see here, I use hyper armor through, and hyper armor plus birds is a victory. And that guy is, well, he needed more health, but he absolutely also had the potential for a whole lot of damage. And now, here we are going after the host, who is dangerous because Mohgwyn Spear and Ladders is a very deadly combination, as I've used myself, but I am thankfully far enough away that I'm now up here and can get onto the same roof as him, and I am confident in my abilities to clean up the 1v1. And I'm just using Great Stars, just love Great Stars. Charged R2, and GG guys, that was a fun invasion, and pulling everyone forward and starting the fight on my terms, I think, really helped clear that up. Now, here we are with Oleander in Volcano Manor, and we've got the Phantom and Host on the roof, and there are just two of them. Here I'm using probably my favorite new setup of Great Axe, Off Axe. Here I'm just trying to get the Phantom Poison. Looking at the relatively small bleed buildup, I think he's probably just using that spear because it's like a Keenan or heavy infusion, because that's not a lot of blood loss buildup, but it does have some passive blood loss like the Flamberge and Naginata. But now that the host is over here and starting to pay a little bit more attention, and then I just saw Katana, so I'm just going Moon Veil. This could be a lot of damage. I can't confirm that it's a Moon Veil at this point, but I make the very smart decision of going down and out of there, because there's an omenkiller down there, there's a lot of dogs, it's a lot of chaos. So I was able to make a very safe escape, and I still have access to a lot of the PvE enemies. Now, here, instead of trying to chase them back around, I see an opportunity, because one of actually probably my favorite long range option, the ballistas, and the hand ballista and jar cannon. So even though the first shot did not knock them down into the other enemies, two shots dealing about 400 damage each cleaned everything up. Now here is chaos. Not only is it a small area, all these barrels are explosive barrels, so I just throw a Blood Boon Ritual, which does fire damage, And although none of the barrels hit, I was able to clean up because usually when you have phantoms wearing Melania's outfit and other random stuff, they're usually pretty over-leveled, which can make things difficult in close quarters, especially in the 2v1 where they can't hit each other. Now here, I stalked these guys for a little bit, and mostly I just wanted to not fight them in an open field. As you can see, a wizard plus another guy is like, when you have someone just throwing stuff at range, it makes it really hard to fight someone one-on-one. So I run into the castle because they aren't fighting the giant deathbird. Now the giant lion dogs are very useful, but they're also pretty dangerous. Like, they're not terrible co-invaders like Wormface and are probably to guaranteed kill you, but they can damage you. So you do need to be careful, but they have a lot of destructive power to fight the host. So I take out my trusty hand ballista again, and after a moment of just repositioning and taking a few shots, and one carefully placed shot, and the phantom goes down. And as you can see, the lions can't get out of the castle, so it makes it really difficult to get through the door. So you don't really want to get stuck on a lion with basically damage coming at you from all sides. Now this guy knows his Moonveil true combo of an R1 after the Ash of War. So here, heal up to full because there's only one guy, and I pull out my trusty hand axe with Endure. Now, just watch this. See that? I guarded through the Ash of War into the just 2 R1s to take down the wizard when he was expecting to get a true combo. That's so good. One of my favorite ways to deal with Moonveil right now. Now here we have 2 overleveled babysitters and a host that I have not seen yet. And the gold overleveled phantom has been resummoned and has completely re-equipped themselves because they were mad that they died. So why am I showing this one as well? Well, this one I do a really smart play of luring these guys away. The phantom that I did not kill has double Moonveil, does an absolutely ridiculous amount of damage. Not that Moonveil doesn't, even at normal levels, but it's still, yeah. And what you can glean in a situation like this is if you just never see the host and they have overleveled babysitters like this, and I'm calling them babysitters because the host has not fought a single enemy or moved from the starting location, you can be relatively certain that they're very new to PvP and that you can get a very quick kill on them. So by using the Phantom Finger and coming behind, I am able to run up behind the host, throw up a Blood Boon ritual, let them explode, and have a very nice time. And yeah, so that was like a 15-minute invasion to just get those guys to just come away from the host just a little bit for me to warp in from behind. Now here we actually just have like a really awesome, honest invasion. A hunter spawn just because this area is just huge, and the host and phantom are just running around. There's tons of mausoleum guards. They are not, so the mausoleum guards, not the mausoleum knights, so the little guys are not super useful in terms of like damage, but they occupy attention because there's a lot of them and they're just around. So they're really good cover, but they're not good assistance. Where the mausoleum knights, they're really good. Like, they're not the High Page and the perfumers in that one room in Lendell Capital, but they're still really amazing support. And there is one Mausoleum Knight in particular who is amazing, but just needs a little bit of love and support, up on these roots. And now the Phantom, he knows what he's doing. I don't think I mentioned it because I've been talking about the Mausoleum Knights. He's got the shield that boosts your resistances, and he's using lightning grease banished knight halberd and his like pretty decent awareness. Like they know what they're doing. So I am actually playing a tower defense simulator because the Mausoleum Knight behind me has a great bow, and he is just going to continually shoot at all three of these players for as long as he is left undisturbed. So it is my job to kind of like sit back and make sure that he has a clear line of artillery to keep whittling down all the health of the players. And this is especially nice because of the poison on the great from poison mist on great omenkiller cleaver. And in my offhand is just an occult whip. I was just testing it out because sometimes with the hand axe it has a little bit shorter range. And though the host backstabbed this Mausoleum Knight, he's still around, so I can still keep playing support. And then the other thing to note is behind me here I fall back a little bit because they're starting to make some more forward progress. From that soundbite, I think the hunter got inflicted with death blight, which was good for me. And as you can see, the whip is long enough that it can go through the storm collar, so I can keep the blood loss build up from the omenkiller cleaver. But behind me, if I do run into more trouble, is Siluria. Siluria is a very great co-invader NPC because unlike the other Crucible Knights, Siluria doesn't aggro you. Siluria only goes for the host and friends. So here I am just having a really fundamentally solid fight on the roots. Like, I don't think there's any like individual, wow, this was such a brilliant play, but it's just like good decisions all around. Like the host and phantoms all moved together. They were doing the best that they could with the PvE, and I was protecting the most important NPC for my success in the invasion. So GG squad, that was really fun, and I think the Sunbro had a really good time too. And now we just have a last little silly sewer invasion. So thank you all for your time. Hopefully you enjoy me trying to be clever in some of these invasions. And as you can see, first trolls worked, but not as intended, because I thought that the host died initially, but the host fell on a little sewer platform. But now I know it's there. So in the middle of the outro, I jump down here and attack the host and actually get the job done. And you can watch the Phantom be really mad as he switches over to use golem arrows and then rain of golem arrows unsuccessfully, because I know what I'm doing. So have a great day, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!